In this lesson I will teach you how to make a simple monster AI, but first let's see how the player controls their actor. This mouse press event is from before, left button to attack, right button to move. Let's talk about keyboard press events. First, the string command gets the button that triggers this event, then we check which key it was. If it is WSAD, it calls movement-related public events. Next are the buttons for the shortcut bar. When you don't know whether the shortcut bar is an item or a skill, you can insert the cast skill and use item commands at the same time. If something exists in the shortcut bar, one will execute, but the event will end if it's empty. There are also two shortcut keys, tab to switch the player actor and escape to open the menu. Opening the control key up event, we see that the public event update moving direction is also called in it. Found here is a check for the currently pressed WSAD combination which correspond to different movement angles. There are 8 directions in total but 12 branches here, so let's find 4 redundant branches and delete them. The DS of the first master branch and the SD of the second master branch are duplicated. Obviously the second will never execute, so delete it. A rule can be found: if there are 2 identical angles before and after, the latter branch will never be executed, so delete it. This way you can get up, down, left, right, and diagonal angles according to the key combination. The angles of the 8 moving directions are the angles that exist. If angle is not equal to none, the player moves towards that angle. Otherwise, it means that no arrow keys are pressed and the player stops moving. After we removed the 4 redundant branches, the movement function was not affected. Check the control mouse wheel event. First, it gets the mouse wheel increment Y value. If the Y increment is less than 0, or scroll wheel up, the camera zooms in. If the Y increment is greater than 0, or scroll wheel down, the camera zooms out. A set of control events can be set for the big map mode and the battle scene respectively. You can also set control events for 2 actors separately to make a 2-player game. Role control events are introduced here. Let's see how to make simple monster AI. First, copy a monster file to the directory we've been using. Delete the other actors, then drag the monster to the scene and set its team as monster. When we run the game, we see that monsters will actively attack players. Opening the auto-run event, we see that it calls a public event, Simple Monster AI. Search for this public event and open it. There are 3 labels here to jump between 3 states: they're idle, combat, and return. Notice how it's done. This design pattern is called a state machine. Let's design our own simple AI state machine. When the monster actor is idle, it will only perform the task of searching for enemies repeatedly. If an enemy is found, it enters the combat state. When in combat, it approaches the target and attacks. When the target is lost, it enters the return state, which returns to its spawn point. When it reaches the spawn point, it goes idle again, then starts the loop over. The following uses event instructions to implement the state machine logic. Open the auto-run event of the monster and delete the content. Go into the game and check that the monster has lost its soul and fails to attack. Edit the auto-run event. First, we'll record the spawn point position of the monster actor, or the X and Y coordinates of the actor when the event is executed for the first time. Add an unconditional loop command. then set an idle label within the loop. With the detect target command set to trigger actor, our monster actor will find enemies within an 8-tile range. If they exist, they will be put into the monster's target pool. Next, a get target command set to trigger actor and enemy team will check whether there is a target in the monster's target pool. If a target exists, an enemy is detected. Add a jump to label, combat command to continue execution. Wait for 1000 milliseconds, meaning search for enemies every second. Add another unconditional loop, then set a combat label. The loop wait time can be set in front of the label. This will avoid accidentally missing the wait command, and entering an infinite loop. Insert the discard targets command set to trigger actor to abandon enemies beyond the distance of 12 tiles. This way, when the distance is too far, the monster will leave battle. Then insert the get target command to set the acquisition conditions. Here the maximum threat value is selected, and the obtained actor will be set in the target actor option. Set a conditional if command to check target role. If it does not exist, it means that there is no enemy in the target pool of the current actor. Then set a jump to label return command to go back to the return state and let the character return to their spawn point. Set a return label at the bottom of the event. It is best to reset the target pool of the actor here, as just because there are no enemies in the target pool doesn't mean it's empty. There may also be friendly targets. For example, auxiliary occupations will add teammates to the target pool. Next, insert a move character command and have them navigate to their spawn point, bypassing other actors. When the wait is over, use a jump to label idle command, then complete the rest of the combat state. Obtain the horizontal and vertical distance between the monster and the target actor with a pair of set number commands, used to compare variables. Assume that the horizontal distance is less than or equal to 1.5, and the vertical distance is less than or equal to 0.5. This indicates that the target has entered the attack range. With a move actor command we stop the monster, then a set angle command set to trigger actor and towards position trigger actor will make the monster face the target enemy. Then add a cast skill command corresponding to the normal attack shortcut key, then wait for 500 milliseconds and continue the loop. When the distance between the monster and the target enemy is not within the attack range, insert the follow actor command. The minimum and maximum distance of the rectangle follow mode refers to the horizontal distance, so when the distance to the target actor is less than the minimum distance, it will stay away, but if it is greater than the maximum distance, it will approach. In short, it will automatically keep within the appropriate distance range. Wait for 500 milliseconds and continue the loop. The monster finds an enemy and will automatically run over to attack. Press F3 to open the trigger shape rendering plugin and see its attack range. In order to verify that a distance exceeding 12 tiles will break off combat, we'll modify the map. Erase all of the trees in the scene. Next, erase all of the impassable tiles. Set the scene size to 40 by 40. Adjust tile map size to match. Fill the area with tiles using the Fill tool. Now when the monster chases the player, it will return to its spawn point when it exceeds the distance of 12 tiles. Press F2 to open the Move Path Rendering plugin and observe the movement status of the monster. Let's do a simple batch spawning event. Click the Scene Settings button. Add Scene Creation event with two set number commands. The first, a variable named number of monsters, is set to 100. The second, named count, is set to 0. Create a conditional if loop. The condition is when number of monsters is less than count. Now we'll generate random scene coordinates by getting a decimal random value between 0 and 1, then multiplying it by the scene width and height. The calculation result is greater than or equal to 0, the width and height of the small scene. Next, we'll create the monster character at that random X and Y position. Make sure its team is set to monster. Finally, increment the number of monsters variable by 1, and when it reaches 100, it will jump out of the loop. The simple spawning event is completed. If there are thousands of monsters in the scene, you can simply optimize the performance accordingly. Edit the Simple Monster AI event to randomly wait between 0 and 1000 milliseconds first. This way the timing of searching for enemies of some actors can be wrongly switched. Avoid concentrated execution in the same frame to achieve load balancing. Check in the game and see that it has not been negatively affected. Hold down Ctrl and drag to copy the monster actor. With 2 actors, there should be 2 AI events if each actor engages in their own AI behavior. As the number of roles increases, it will be difficult to manage and maintain later. I'm sure my witty friends have already guessed to put it into a public event call. Okay, now 2 monster characters share 1 AI, so it is possible to have melee monsters use 1 AI and ranged monsters share another AI. In this way it is also very convenient to modify. Set a different sprite for the second monster. This is also good to confirm that there are indeed 2 different monsters in the scene. We're done, call it a day.